Hey everyone! I figured it was about time that I put together a guide to fancy serial numbers. So many people are collecting fancy serial numbers, and so many people are claiming they have fancy serial numbers that aren't actually worth anything, that it's about time somebody actually set the record straight. I've done all kinds of videos on eBay scammers and people selling stuff that just aren't worth anything, and people come at me. A lot of people come at me saying, "Oh, I like collecting them." You know something? You are allowed to collect anything you like. Okay, I'm not telling anybody not to collect something. What I am telling people to do is don't pay for stuff that isn't worth anything. That's what I'm telling you. All right, so what am I talking about? I'm talking about fancy serial numbers. Now, the website that I'm showing here, this is called My Currency Collection. If you go to mycurrencycollection.com, it's a great place to look up star notes to find out if you have rare star notes. It's a great place to check different print runs on stuff. And they also do have a guide for fancy serial numbers and for what they call the cool serial number lookup or something to that effect. We'll get to that later. Anyway, I know a lot of you are expecting a top 10 list today. You will get a top 10 list today. The top 10 list will be the top 10 worthless serial numbers, and I will go into that later. But let's start off, first of all, with fancy serial numbers and what they actually are, the things that you should be looking for. And these I'm kind of going to run through pretty quick because, for the most part, you know what to look for. I simply went to the fancy serial number types and values section right here on my currency collection. You just hit collecting guides, and then the drop down menu will show it here, and this is what shows up. Types and values of fancy serial numbers. It says here's a list of the commonly collected fancy serial numbers. Values are approximate based on sales of uncirculated low denomination notes on eBay and heritage auctions. Okay, so that's just them saying they're not going to be buying these. This is just prices that they've seen. So the first thing they show is low serial numbers. Now, a low serial number is a serial number that's going to start with a bunch of zeros. Obviously, 000001 would be the lowest possible note you can get. They don't make a note that's got all zeros. And they go through the values. If you've got one that starts with 4 zeros, sometimes slightly overface. Sometimes, which means if somebody is gullible enough, they'll pay it. They'll pay something for that. But for the most part, if you have 4 zeros, that's nothing. If you have 5 zeros, $30 to $75, 6 zeros, $100 to $300, 7 leading zeros, $500 to $1,000. I can understand low serial numbers, okay? Once you get to at least 5 zeros. With 5 zeros, you have the 3 X's that they're showing. That's considered to be a 3-digit serial number. If you have 6 zeros, you have what's called a 2-digit. And 7 zeros, you would have a 1-digit. So yeah, when you're talking about fancy serial numbers that are low serial numbers, or low serial numbers in general, when you see star note, low serial number, it better have at least 5 zeros. It better be a 3-digit, a 2-digit, or a 1-digit. Anything other than that is not a low serial number, okay? Next up on here, high serial numbers. Pretty much just the opposite. Now, this here they do say here for a recent note that is a block rollover at 9.6 million, 9.6 million, or 96 million, I should say. That means you're actually looking for 95999, and then 3 different digits here. Essentially, they're going the same route. Here, this one starts with 4 nines. If it's not a higher denomination note, singles would be 9599 and then the digits. And you can see here with 4 X's, value to be determined. In other words, face value. When you've got a 3-digit, now you're talking 50 to 75, 2-digit, 100 to 300, and a 1-digit, 500 plus. So if you have a note that starts off 959, that's worth $1. It's not a high serial number. It may be the highest number you have, but it's not considered a high serial number. Just like if you have 00 and then a number, that's not a low serial number. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this moment just to reinforce the fact that I am on mycurrencycollection.com. And I don't hold a lot of what they say to be uh, the uh, the end all do all for everything. But even they say that certain things are not worth money. Okay. So once again, those are the highs, those are the lows. Then you've got something called a ladder, very specific. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or let's see, that is an 8-digit ladder. So they're all in order, and that says 900 to 1900 for that value. There's a couple ways to make a ladder. A ladder is simply all the digits in order, either ascending or descending. So you could have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You could have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. As long as all the digits are in order. Now, if you have all digits, like I said, that's close to $2,000. If you have, what would this be? 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's technically 6 in a row there. They're calling that $9,500. And if you've got something like 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, where all the digits are still in order, but there's only a few different ones, they're calling that one there $100. Maybe, maybe not. This is, these are kind of debatable, but a ladder that has value because you can have 0 through 7, 1 to 8, 2 to 9, and 3 to 0, right? Those are the 4 upward ladders you can have. And you can only have 3 downward ladders. You can't have the 9-8 downward ladder, meaning 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, because it doesn't go to 9, 8 like it shows here. It's actually 9, 6. I should be pointing here. 9, 6. So you're not going to find 9, 8. So there are seven ladders total. 4 of them are upward ladders, and there's only 3 downward ladders out of 96 million. Essentially, out of 100 million, you only have 7 shots at that. That's why that's worth money. Okay. Next up, they list binaries and true binaries. Now, a binary is something like this, where you've got only 2 different digits represented. The one they're showing shows 74774774. So it's just 4s and 7s. That's a binary, 2 different digits. A true binary would only be 1s and 0s. Okay. They call a true binary $40 to $150. They call a regular binary $20 to $75. I don't necessarily agree with the price, but those are fancy serial numbers. The next one they show is a repeater. Now, a repeater is when you have 4 digits and then those 4 digits repeat. So here you've got 7462, and then the next 4 digits are also 7462. I always use the example 1234 1234 as the serial number. The first 4 digits repeat again as the last 4 digits. They call the value of that $25 to $50 on a repeater. Once again, these are all notes that everybody is aware of, or if you're not aware of, these are the legitimate notes. Here's something called a super repeater. Basically, it's when the first 2 digits are repeated 4 times. So you've got 39393939. They call the value of this one $100 to $300. Once again, these are fancy serial numbers. They list something here called a quad double, which is simply 4 of a kind and then another 4 of a kind. So this one here is 5555 3333. The one next to it 1111 6666. They say that one's 50 to 200. I think they're neat. I don't necessarily agree with the value on them, but once again, it's actually a thing. That's the ultimate point. All of these are things. These are all fancy serial numbers, one way or the other. You don't have to be on the lookout for them, but these are what are considered fancy serial numbers. Next one on the list is considered a radar. That's where the number reads the same forward and backward. So this one is 1253 3521. 1s are on the outside, then 2s, then 5s, then 3s as you work your way in. That is a radar. Reads the same forward and back. A radar repeater would be, it reads the same forward and back, as well as having the first 4 digits the same as the last 4. Their example here, 3443, 3443. So the first 4 digits are the exact same as the last 4 digits, and yet if you read it from outside to in, it's also the same. Once again, legitimate fancy serial numbers. These are the things that you should be collecting. These are the things you should be looking for. These are the things that actually have value because they are hard to find. These are rare occurrences, okay? Then you've got a binary radar listed down here. The radar only consists of two digits. So this is 83833838. Once again, legitimate stuff. Here's what's called a solid. A solid is when you have all of the same digit. So 8 ones in a row. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Those are $1,000 to $4,000. Yes, those are, because out of every single print run of 96 million notes, you can find all the ones, twos, threes, fours, fives, sixes, sevens, and eights. There's only 8 notes that are solid out of 100 million. 8 out of 100 million. Yeah, that's worth something. I'll say that again. 8 out of 100 million. Those are worth something because they are rare. And we're going to get to what rare means real soon. Then you can get 7 of a kind or 7 in a row. Pretty much self-explanatory, and those are like $50 to $150. Once again, very few combinations out of 100 million equal this particular combination. That's why they are worth money, because they are hard to find. There are very few of them. Then you get to stuff like trinaries. You guys see me every week saving trinaries. A trinary is simply a serial number that has 3 different digits. The one they've got pictured here is 5s, 7s, and 9s. Value. Sometimes more than face value, most often not. That's their nice way of saying no. It's worth face value. It has a name, but they are so common that they don't have any value. That's this site. This site with a fancy serial number checker that drives me insane because it has a coolness index that doesn't mean anything but gets people all hyped up. The site that invented the coolness index and tells you how exciting notes are is telling you that a trinary is not worth anything. Okay? Don't listen to me. Listen to the website that tells you your fancy serial numbers aren't fancy. A trinary has most often no value over face. Now, here's one of the issues I have with this site. Date notes or birthday notes. Okay, now the examples they list aren't necessarily the greatest, but well, this one is. It would be let's see. This one is 07041776. Think of that as a date. 07 would be July, 04 would be the 4th, and then 1776. According to this, sometimes they're more than face value, but often not. Just like trinaries. Really? If I saw a note that had July 4th, 1776, I'm pretty sure that would be worth something. Because that is a specific date where a specific thing happened, and there's only one way to make that note, which means that note is 1 out of 100 million to find. If you would like to find your birthday, your specific birthday, only lines up properly one way, as in month, day, year. So your birthday is 1 out of 100 million. What does that mean birthday notes are worth? Well, I flat out say if I ever saw my birthday on a note, I'd pay $20 for it. So if I'd pay $20 for my birthday, I'm sure you would pay $20 for your birthday. So does that mean birthday notes in general are worthless? No. To the average person, the average date is worthless, but to the right person, the person whose birthday that is, well, it's probably going to be worth something to them. So here's one example where they say face value, or sometimes more than face value, often not. There, I completely disagree with that statement. All right. So those are what they list for fancy serial numbers. So that's it. If you learned anything new, I'll go. Oh, I know. You guys want a little more. Because apparently there's all kinds of other fancy serial numbers. And to that I say, no. No, there's not. I'm sorry. There's not. This is the site telling you what fancy serial numbers are. I hate it when this thing goes into different fancy serial numbers. But that's all they list. There's a lot of junk out there, but that's all they list. So now I think it's time we get to the top 10 fancy serial numbers that are worthless. And the way we're going to figure out if they're worth anything or not is, first and foremost, did they make this list? No, they didn't. So right there is the hint and a half that they're worthless. But we're going to take it a step further. We're going to go to note lookups, and we're going to go to fancy serial number checker. Okay, so now all I have to do is type in a fancy serial number here, and we can find out how cool it is, and most importantly, how rare it is. So we're going to start off with an honorable mention. All right, have you guys ever heard of Lucky Bucks? Lucky Bucks in America would be notes that start off with, well, not even start off, notes that have 777 in them. Sometimes you'll see people use 888 because in Asian cultures, 8 is lucky. Well, what are those worth? What are Lucky Bucks worth? Those must be worth something, right? Well, let's try something here. Let's type in just a random number. We'll go 4888. Let's see, what is that? 4 digits. Then we'll go 209. 9. There we go. All right. So now in this one, we've got triple eights. We've got 3 8s. Okay. Let's see what happens when we check that serial number. Okay. According to this, that random number that I typed in is 91.6% on the coolness rating, and it gets a rating of cool. Important note, by the way, for those of you who use this, read this. A high coolness index rating does not guarantee a serial number is worth more than face value. Okay, so I've read it out loud for you. Now you guys understand that this note is not worth more than face value. What makes this serial number special or not? Okay, with this one, let's see. It contains 1 triple and 1 pair together. All right, so I shouldn't have done that. Let's change the last digit. We'll change it to something that doesn't pair. So now it's at 81.3%, and they call it almost cool. And it says contains 1 triple together. Okay, the 888 portion, because that's what people are telling you. They're telling you 3 of a kind on there means something. Contains 1 triple together. Only 5.4% of 8-digit numbers have that combination. Only 5.4%. Now, that is 5.4%. That is any digit. So, anything 0s through 9s. So specifically for 8s, you're talking 1/10 of that, so 0.54 is what it would be. But to find any triple, contents 1 triple together. Okay. To find any note that has a triple on it is 5.4%. What's 5.4%? That's 5 out of 100. This is a strap of singles. 1 strap of singles here. There should be on average 5 triples in here. Okay. Why would you pay for that when you can go to the bank, get a strap of singles, go through it, pull out the 5, and then return the other $95 or spend the other $95? Okay. If you can go to the bank and get $100 in singles and pull out 5 of the notes, that's not rare. Okay, that's not. So if somebody is selling these for $5 a piece, go to the bank. You know you're going to find 5 of them, right? Because that's what it is. 5% is 5 out of 100. More specifically, 5% is 1 out of 20. So if you have 20 singles, you're going to probably have 1 note that has 3 of a kind on it. 3 of a kind together. That's not rare. 1 out of 20 is not rare. Okay? Do not pay money for a note that you can break a 20 for and find one. Okay? That there's no value there. Go to the bank, buy 20 singles, get your own. Stop buying these notes. All right, so that's my honorable mention. Number 10 on the list. Number 10, I'm going to clear this one out. I know this is going to be a longer video, but that's fine because there's a lot of info to give you guys. Number 10 on the list would be a broken ladder. Now, a broken ladder is simply when you have a ladder, all the digits 1 through 9 in a random order. Okay, you've got 8 different digits on the note in a random order. So we're going to go 1, 4, 3, 6, 8, 7. What am I missing now? 5, 2. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that is a broken ladder. No pairs in the note. All different numbers. And we check it. And according to this, it's 97.3% cool on the coolness index, and the rating is very cool. Okay. Let's see. Right here. This has 8 unique digits. Okay. 8 unique digits. That's how you get the ladder portion of it. 8 unique digits has a 1.8% chance. 1.8% of all 8-digit numbers have 8 unique digits. 1.8%. Okay. 1.8% means there's one of those, almost 2 of those in every strap. Okay. So now you can go to the bank, get a strap of singles, and in that strap of singles, you're going to find 5 trips, and you're going to find, on average, 2 ladders. Okay. If you can get a strap of singles and find 2 of these, how rare is that? That's not rare. Not rare at all. Once again, don't buy this note. Go to your bank and get it for face value. Stop paying money for stuff that isn't worth anything. 1.8%. That's 2 per strap. All right. Actually, let's look at it this way. I'm going to give you one other comparison with this particular note. If you hunt coins, if you're a coin roll hunter, how many pennies are in a roll? 50. 1.8 is nearly 2%, which would be 1 in 50, to be honest, which means every single roll of pennies would have one of these particular types of note. Imagine if you were looking for a specific thing, I don't care what it was, you were looking for a specific thing on a penny, and there was one in every single roll. How valuable is that? It's not. If you found one in every roll, you found one 2% of the time. Okay? Because that's the percentage how it works out. All right. So that is when you have a note with 8 unique digits. They call it a broken ladder or a mixed ladder. Not valuable. All right. Number 9 on the list. I watched somebody try to sell a full house. A full house would be 66699. There we go. All right, so you've got 3 of a kind followed up by 2 of a kind. That is a full house in poker. 3 of a kind and 2 of a kind. And when we search this, what happened here? What am I doing wrong? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 there. There we go. Glitch in the system. All right. This note contains 1 triple and 1 pair. That is a full house. Only 1.5% of 8-digit numbers have this combination. Really? 1.5? So that means if I had 2 straps of singles, there would be 3 of them. Okay? So I will find 3 full houses for every 2 straps of singles. I'll find 1 full house in about every strap, and 1.5 in every strap. So 3 of them in 2 straps. Once again, if we were to compare this to hunting pennies, okay, you would find, what would that be? That would be 1.5. In 3 of these, you would find 1 in every other strap, basically, in every other roll of pennies, essentially. I mean, so that's not rare at all. Okay, yet people are going to tell you that's worth money. It's not. 1.5. That's less than every strap is going to have 1. Sometimes 2, sometimes more than 2, but on average, 1.5 per strap. Not rare. Stop buying it. That's number 8. Number 7, bookends. I don't even have to do bookends because I know the math on this myself. But what is bookends? We'll go like this. We'll go 6, 2, 4. I shouldn't double up the number. 6, 2, 9, 0, 8, 9, and then we'll go 6, 2. So the number starts with 6, 2. The number ends with 6, 2. Every number starts with 2 digits. Duh. And for a 2-digit number, there are 100 combinations. 0, 1 all the way through 0, 0. That's 1 per strap. That's literally one per strap. If this was a brand new strap, okay, this one starts off 3-2. If this was a brand new strap, the first one would be 0-1 and the last one would be 0-0, and there would be one note in this strap that says 3-2. That's literally once per strap. That's not rare. One in every strap is not rare. I don't know. I don't know how else to tell you guys that. So no, it's not worth anything. All right, what was that? 10, 9, 8. Number 7. 3 pairs. Okay. Some of you guys think this one's a big deal, so we're gonna go 3-3, 7-7. We'll go 9-0-0. We'll just be different that way. So we've got a pair of 3s, a pair of 7s, a random 9, a couple zeros, and then we'll throw a 1 in there. Okay, so that's 3 pairs. There are 3 pairs in there. So let's see what this is. And of course, let's try that again. Why is it not going? There we go. Okay. Contains 3 pairs together. Only 0.75 of 8-digit numbers have this combination. Okay. 0.75. How rare is that? Well, if you buy a strap, that means you might not get one. You might not get one. However, what if you do like me and you search 1,000 notes every week? If you search 1,000 notes every week, you're going to find 7 of these. 7. 1,000. You're going to find 7. How does this compare to our penny search? 7 per 1,000. Actually, 7.5 per 1,000. When you open a box of pennies, you're searching through 2,500 pennies. Okay? If you found 14 of whatever you're looking for in a box, how rare is that? Well, it's basically what people are down to when it comes to trying to find wheat cents. About 14 per box now. But those are at least old and have less and less of them around all the time. This, like I said, they're printing new notes as we speak. So they are making more. Every series that comes out, more of these are coming out. So even though some of these have been destroyed in the past, new ones are coming out again, whereas wheat cents are done and they will only become less and less available. So I can understand value. Even though the value of a wheat cent is roughly 3 cents, this has the same find rate as a wheat cent, except that find rate isn't going to go down because they're printing 2021s right now. And once they finish with the A run of notes, then they'll do the B run, and then the C, and then D, E, F, G. So they are constantly printing these notes. You're going to find 14 per 1,000. Or you're going to find 7 per 1,000. And actually, the comparison would be not 14, but it would be half again because there's 2,500 pennies. So there would be like finding 20 of these in a box. Not rare. Not rare at all. So, no. Those 3 pairs, not worth anything. All right. What was it? Number 7. Number 6. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yep, number 6. A trinary. Here, I can make this a trinary real easy. 3, 7, 9, 3, 7, 7, 3. There's a trinary. And if I click this, trinary, 97.6 coolness index. Very cool rating. Let's see. There's all kinds of neat stuff here. Let's see. Has 3 unique digits. Okay. Has 3 unique digits. 0.71 of all 8-digit numbers have that. Well, 0.71 means for every 1,000 I go through, I'm going to find 7 of these. That's not rare. And besides, a trinary was listed on this site as not having any additional value. So anything that we've looked at already that was more common than these are certainly not going to be worth anything, because if this one, according to this site, isn't worth anything, then why would anything we've checked on so far be worth anything? It's not. Everything we've looked at up until this has been more common than a trinary. All right, number five. Number five is four pairs, and I don't mean together, I mean separate. So if I was to go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 4, 3, 1, that would be four pairs. You have a pair of ones, a pair of twos, a pair of threes, and a pair of fours in there. So let's see what this is going to give us, if it gives us anything. Here we go. Run of four, no, here we go. Contains four pairs. Only 0.53% of all 8-digit numbers have four pairs. All right, four pairs. That means out of every 1,000 notes, I'm going to find five. 5 notes out of every 1,000. That's like getting 12 out of every box of pennies. Once again, not rare. Here's the other thing. I keep using the comparison about a strap of singles. When you get a strap of singles, it's going to cost you $100 because there's 100 singles in here. But if you take out 3 notes and then return the rest, you got your 3 notes for face value and you still have $97. So you can go to your bank with a $100 bill, get 100, search them, return whatever you didn't take out, get another 97 or another 100 if you add $3 in there, and get another 100. Okay, so it's not going to cost you $1,000 to search 1,000 notes. It's not even going to cost you $100. You have to have the 100, but you're getting all that money back. You're not paying for anything. You're just exchanging money. So, yes, if you were to search 10 straps, you're going to find 5 of these notes. And you probably won't have to search 10 straps to find one. And if it's that easy to find, it's not worth anything. They're just not that rare. All right, so that's 4 pairs. All right, what's next? Number 4. We're going with quads. Now, you guys have seen me save quads. I save quads and I save trinaries. And I tell you, they're not worth anything. What are quads? Here, we're going to go 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is quad sixes. There's 4 sixes right next to each other. And we're going to see what the site has to say about quads. Well, we know what the site says about quads. Why is this not working? I don't know. We know what the site says about quads because it was already in their fancy serial number. Their fancy serial number said that it wasn't worth anything. They already said that when you looked up fancy cereals. But here we go. Contains 4 of a kind together. Only 0.46 of all 8-digit numbers have that particular type of sequence. Once again, you're talking just about 5 per 1,000. Once again, take a $100 bill, get 100 singles. You'll probably find one. If you don't find one, take them back to the bank, get a different strap, and you'll probably find one in there. Basically, 1 out of every 2 straps is going to have quads. How is that rare? It's not. So once again, when they are that easy to find, don't spend money paying for these from some scammer. Go to the bank. 2 straps, that's all it'll take. 2 straps, you'll find one. Not rare. All right, number 3. Number 3, I didn't even consider this one, but I saw somebody trying to sell one of these. It was 5 of a kind, and I believe theirs was something like 5, 5, 7, 8, 1, 5, 5, 5. Yeah, okay. And if I try to check this, contains 5 of a kind, only 4.3%. Oh, what do you know? It's just about the exact same percentage as the last one. 4.6 was the last, or I should say 0.46. This is 0.43. Once again, buy a strap. If you don't find it in that strap, buy another strap. It'll be in there. That's basically 1 in 200. So if you can buy 2 straps and find one of these, how rare is that? I'll tell you how rare it is. Not rare. Why would you spend money out of your pocket for this? It's insane. It is 0.03 harder to find than quads, and this site already said quads aren't worth anything other than face value. So if you're gonna believe this site, then believe this site. Not my favorite site for this kind of stuff, but like I said, you use the tools that are out there, and this is proving my point exactly. Number 3, I've got all odd or all even. So let's do, oh, what's going on here? Let's do this. 5, 7, 7, 9, 1, 3, 3, 3. Okay, so those are all odd. Let's see what this has to say. All the digits are odd. Only 0.39 of all 8-digit numbers have this property. You know what's funny? There's also just as many combinations that are all even, which means to find all odd or all even would not be 0.39. It would actually be twice that, which would be 0.78, which makes that even more easier to find than anything we've talked about recently. But even at 0.39, that would be essentially 1 in every 3 straps you will find one of these. That's all odd. But, like I said, 1 in 3 straps, that's for odd or even. If you're looking for odd or even together, either one of them, if either one of them would make you happy, then it's almost 1 in every strap. It's 8 out of every 1,000. That's what that amounts to. 8 out of 1,000. So when I do $1,000 strap search, I should find 8 notes that are all even and all odd. Not rare. Neat, but not rare. Not rare at all. And if it's not rare, why are you buying it? Go to the bank, buy a strap, get it yourself for $1, because that's all you should have to pay. All right, that's number 3. No, that was number 2. Number 1 on the list. This is the rarest note. Ooh, what could it possibly be? This note is a 4-digit ladder. And I've seen these both ways. So let's say you've got a 7, and then you have 0, 1, 2, 3. So now you've got those 4 digits in order. Okay, I know, it seems ridiculous, doesn't it? But we're going to go with it anyway. And then we're going to go 9, 0, 9. Okay, so all we're concerned about is the fact that there are 4 consecutive numbers heading in an upward pattern. Okay, here, contains a run of 4. 0.33 of 8-digit numbers have forward runs that are 4 or larger. Remember, 0.33. 0.33 is 1 in every 3 straps. So go get a strap. If you didn't find one, take it back to the bank, get another strap. If you don't find it, take the strap back to the bank, get a third one, and then you'll find one, because there's 1 in every 3. Okay, so now on these top 10 notes that I just listed that are worthless, I've seen these selling anywhere from $5 to $15. So we'll call them $10 a piece, okay? If you're going to pay on average $10 a piece for these notes, if you bought one of each, that would cost you $800. And you'll now have 10 notes. Or you could take that $100 to the bank and get a strap and take the notes out yourself. And if you can't find one, take whatever remnants you have back to the bank and get another strap and get it yourself. All of these notes that I had just listed in this top 10 are that easy to find. They are that common. They are not rare. That's why they have no value. If I can go to the bank right now and come back with one of each of these notes if I wanted to, that's not rare. That's why there's no value. Are they neat to collect? Sure, very neat to collect. But no dealer will give you a cent over face value for these because they aren't rare. They aren't worth anything. No dealer would try to sell these to the public because they would lose their reputation. You want to collect them? Great. But they're only worth face value. All right, if you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading your comments, and I'll see you next week.